Hi everybody, today we're going to continue with our multivan series. So in the previous video we looked at the two different models and the long and the standard variation. We didn't go into the dash at all. So today we're going to look at the front cabin. So we're going to show you what all the buttons are, where all the buttons are, what they actually do. So let's get into it, let's go and have a look. So starting on the driver's door card that's on here, we've obviously got a bit of an armrest on the top with a bit of nice material on there. And then we move on to our top control. So we've got our electric windows for the front. We've got our controls for our mirrors that's here. So including folding, this one's got folding mirrors on and heated mirrors that's here. Central locking button, and then the child protection button as well that's in there, which turns off the rear doors. So the rear doors then obviously it's got the child lock function on, so they can't be open from the inside and come straight out from there. So further down here then we've got two buttons. We've got one for the fuel flap. So this is for the actual fuel, the main fuel, so whether that be petrol or diesel that's in there, and that just opens the flap up on the side of the vehicle. And then the button next to that is for the rear, the tailgate of the vehicle. So to activate it you press and hold it, and then the tailgate goes up automatically and opens up at the back. And then we've just got a bit of storage, so a bit of storage in here, deep door pocket down at the bottom in here, and extra storage in the door pockets in here, which goes all the way back into the door thing. So plenty of storage in the door, and obviously the passenger side is exactly the same, but we'll show you that on the way through. So we've got a couple of areas in the cab with different buttons on and areas where they are. And the first one is down here where we'd normally find things like the light switch. And again, these are all to do with the lights that's on here as well. So we've got control, so we've got mode, which can control your lighting. So obviously you can have it an automatic, all the different variations on there with your side lights, etc. that's there. And then you've also got your rear fog light that's on there, your front fogs, which is down here. The button to bring up all your fans onto the front to demist the front, heated windscreen which this has, and heated rear window as well that's in there. So that's kind of your lights and your heating windscreen panels and things like that. They're all located on that side there. And then with all vehicles done by the Volkswagen, on this side here we've got your windscreen wipers, so you can go down for intermittent, and then 1, 2 and 3 different settings it's on there. The first one that goes up is based off the sensor that's in the vehicle, so that all is speed sensors there, and then 2 other settings thereafter. And then on the top on here we've just got a little nozzle that just moves over, and that's depending on the sensitivity. So obviously the more that it's raining, if you want it on its max it's there, or if you want it less sensitive down at the bottom. So on this side of the vehicle here we've got your indicators up and down, main beams pulled towards you, and to put your main beam on permanently, just pop it back and that puts it on there as well. High beam assist is on the vehicle as well, which obviously will turn your vehicles on and off. And then the button at the side here is to do with lane assist, so that just turns lane assist on and off on the side. So we're going to come back to the steering wheel in a minute, so we're just going to carry on going through with all the things before we turn the vehicle on itself, so we can have a look at the different options from there. So here, which is slightly different for us, and if any of you drive a Caddy will know this looks very familiar as well. So this is for our automatic. So park, obviously the P for the park button, and then we've got reverse, so you just press that up to the reverse you want, down to neutral, and then obviously down into drive should you want to go from on there. We've got our engine stop button, which is down here, so that can start the vehicle, so you just press that when you get into the vehicle or when you come out of the vehicle. So we've got 3 buttons on the side here, which is all to do with the sliding doors. So the top one obviously is to open the door on the left hand side, and the bottom one is to open the door on the right hand side, all to close them in that matter. And the middle button deactivates that, so that turns off the electric motion itself. So the door can still open manually, but obviously you have to push it yourselves backwards and forwards rather than doing it electronically. Now storage on the vehicle, so just press the button on the top that's on there and that just comes up. You've got a bit of storage in there. And then moving along as you come along to the side here, we've got the similar one here. So again that just pops up and you've got some extra space you can put in. Quite deep, that goes all the way into the bottom. And then you've got your glove box, which is a really good sized glove box. As you can see, you can get the handbook in the glove box, which I always think is really good, really important, so you can put your things in there. Got loads of space that's in the glove box. And then moving along, depending on your vehicle, so here we've got a 12 volt supply that's on here, which has got a little cap on it. Just take that off, You're all used to that. That's in there. So that's your 12 volt supply in here. This vehicle's got the mobile charging, so this is a mobile charger. So you put your phone in the tray here. Obviously it will charge while your phone's in here, so it's got wireless charging. Next to here is your handbrake. This vehicle's the first one we've had with commercial vehicles that doesn't use a traditional handbrake. So obviously to put the brake on, just pull it up, and to take the handbrake off, you push it down. And you've also got auto hold as well. So what auto hold effectively does is it holds the handbrake, so you don't have to keep turning it on and off when you're actually at traffic lights and things like that. These are technology that's tried and tested. It's been around a long time in the car world. It's just obviously moved over now to ourselves here in commercial. And then finally, in the middle section here is you've got a drop down cup holder section. So you've got 2 cups in here which come in, which vary in different sizes, and you can put in. Then you've got a bit of space at the back as well should you want to put anything else that's there. So we turn the vehicle on now, so the vehicle is switched on. We're moving up to this middle section here, so we've got 2 air vents that's on here, and then we've got a list of things that's on here. So obviously one, which is one that presses in and out, is your hazard lights, an important button that's there. We've got one for your assistance, so you press the button on the assistance system and all your systems come up on the top on the dash that's on here. You've got climatronic, click that and it gives all your heating controls, etc., which are on the side of it here, so where you want the air to come from, that's on here, rear and sync, that's there. This is your parking menu, which obviously then will give you your, whether it's park assist or whether it's your parking sensors that you're looking at from in there. And then finally you've got your mode, and your mode then gives you your thing. So this is the e-hybrid version, so because of that obviously we've got the 2 different variations on here. So we've got the e-mode, or we've got a hybrid mode, and you can have it on both. So currently this vehicle's fully charged up, as you can see from on there as well. And then the E-mode, which all these vehicles, the hybrids, all start on E-mode, so they all start off on electric. That's in there, which is why that's in there, but you can change it as you're driving along. So finally in this area we have also got some buttons across the top here. So for example, you can actually turn the stereo on and off from on there. So a quick on and off will mute the vehicle, but press and hold will turn the system on. And again, you can turn it back on. That's on there. We've got our heating controls for obviously hot and cold. So this is a 3-zone vehicle, so we've got the passenger, driver and in the rear as well, so you can tap these buttons as you want to. You've got plus and minus, so you can put your volume up or down, that's on there. Obviously you've got those on your steering wheel as well, so it's nice and easy to find them. So finally for today, we're going to move to the steering wheel. Now the steering wheel in this vehicle has got lots of the controls on it, so you don't have to keep touching backwards and forwards on different areas of the vehicle. So essentially on this side here is where we've got our ACC, our adaptive cruise control. We can set it, we can resume it, we can plus and minus the actual speed of which we want to set the ACC at. And obviously the middle section here, the middle button determines how much space is between you and the person that's actually in front of you when you're driving. So you can increase and decrease that depending on where you are. So if you're on a motorway or around town, that's in there as well. You can change that. That's on there as well. I've said it before in videos, I love ACC. I think it's really, really good. I was never a huge fan of normal cruise control, just because on our road you're stopping and starting all the time. But with ACC, because obviously it's looking at what's in front of you and doing all that slowing for you, I think it's really, really good, and it's definitely the next step before we get to the point where you don't even drive yourself. So, but it is good. It is a very good system to use. So below that we've got a plus and minus for our volume control, and on the opposite side is for our track control. So this allows us to move up and down between the different tracks, for example, or different stereo channels, radio channels and things like that. That's on there. And then on this side then again in the middle here, so we've got things, for example, we can move between, and you can see on the dash now, we can move between the different settings, so time, acceleration, compass, different information. That's on the audio, navigation, and that just changes these ones to our different assistance settings. So, and again on the other side here we can go to range, for example, so it just switches between the two. Things like heated steering wheel controls is on there as well. Heating steering wheel now is on. Heating steering wheel, really nice in winter, nicely warms your steering wheel up for you. To activate voice control is done off here as well. And the final one is the view button, and the view button is what changes the actual onboard display dash. So you can switch between different types of view depending on where you're going and what you're actually doing, from say a traditional dash, for example, like this that's in here, to one, for example, where you've got your navigation systems up We mustn't forget our panel that's up in the headlining that's in here as well. So this is where things like, for example, we've got our SOS button. So we have talked about this before on the channel. So the vehicle has got a SIM card in the vehicle so that you can phone emergency services and things like that. So you've got your spanner light for the vehicle for servicing wise, information button that's there. Obviously you can turn off the lights for when the doors are open, and you've got your individual reading lights as well, which are on there. And this is all touch activated from the screen that's there. So I hope you enjoyed our walk through the dash in the Multivan today. So this particular vehicle is a Style, so this is the top of the range one as well that's in it. So that's the one that we've shown you today. When we next time we've got a video in and we've got one on the Life version, we'll take you a walk through that as well, so you can see what the differences are between them. So coming up within the Multivan range as well, we'll leave it a couple of weeks before we do another one on Multivan, but we're going to have a look at the actual screen, etc., and the navigation system, and show how that all works. Let us know if there's any particular things on Multivan that you're interested in that you'd like us to do and show you. So pop those in the comments box below. If you have enjoyed today's video, give us a thumbs up, give us a like. If you don't subscribe, please subscribe. It really, really does help us out. And we'll see you next time.